There you go.
All right, how you guys doing? So you hear about the market every day in the news. It goes up, it goes down, there's crashes, which is a bear market, and there's raging markets, which is a bull market. So what does this all mean? Today I'll be talking about what a stock is and how it relates to a marketplace. Since it's such a confusing topic, I tried to be very simplistic about it and grab like real world examples that you can actually relate to. So like, what is a stock? Example that I made up was like, think of a burger joint. Let's say I want to open a burger joint up in the community. So figuring it'll cost me like $100,000, and I only have $10,000 to start out with. You can't really build a business with 10,000. So you decide. So I decide to issue stocks to my investors. So each stock is a piece of share of the ownership. So each share is like you're owning a part of the company. And each share is worth a certain amount of what the company is worth. So companies issue shares to investors just to raise money and to raise capital. So being that I'm 90,000 short, I had to find 9 people to invest at least 10,000, but also I'm gonna give up 90% of my company, so I'm only in 10%. So now all 10 of us own 10% of the company. So let's fast forward like 5 years, and now the company is now worth $1 million. So I got my money back for my investment, and then each of my 9 investors now turn their $10,000 investment into a $100,000 investment. So then as years go on, your company grows, you can make more shares out of the company, you can buy your shares from investors. So an example is, I don't know if you guys know, Ronald Wayne was the 3rd founder of Apple back in 1976. And he sold his shares, which was 10% of Apple, for $800. And now in 2019, that 800 would have been $35 billion. So now that you have an idea of what a stock is, let's talk about the actual stock market and why and where people go back and forth to sell shares to one another. So let's say you're a coin collector, and I love coins. So I go to the coin conventions in Philadelphia where buyers and sellers meet. So, and I want to buy a new car. So I want to sell I have a 1921 Morgan dollar. So I take this coin, and someone offers me $1,000, or then I try to sell it for $1,000, and someone offers me $900. So then buying and selling, we're going to meet in the middle around $950. So this is exactly what happens every day on the stock market. There's buyers and sellers, and they meet at different asking and bid prices. So the price of the share actually depends on the supply and demand of the stock. How many people want to buy it versus how many people want to sell it, often meeting in the middle. And you can actually buy these shares like Tesla, Apple, Walmart. An example is there's 100 shares of Tesla, let's say it's outstanding. There's 100 shares, you buy one, you own 1% of Tesla now. And a fun fact, the oldest stock market in the United States was actually opened in Philadelphia in 1797. And there's different types of stocks, which is called a common stock, it's like the name is common. Majority of stocks issued today are in this form. They represent a claim and profit, so they have these things called dividends, which is like a monthly, annually, or yearly payout. They don't really have those. But you have the opportunity to vote for the company. So if the company has their board and they're voting for a new president or CEO, you'll be actually voting for them. And then there's a preferred stock, which is similar. I don't know if you know bonds, and they usually don't come with voting rights, but they come with dividends. So if you're holding a mass amount of preferred stocks, you're getting paid every month from the dividends. Usually common stocks are more riskier than preferred stocks. That's That's why you hear it's more common, because they can go, common stocks can tank and you can lose everything, but not so much preferred because they're backed up with so much capital. So in conclusion, like the stock market is very confusing. I know there's a lot of emotion and manipulation behind it. I try to ease it in so that you can understand it, but it's something that you'll definitely encounter in your life. If you have 401s, your Roths, solo 401ks, some background knowledge it helps. So in my next speech, I will be talking about Roths, 401ks, because that's where it really gets interesting, because there's things that people don't tell you that will help you out, like buying a home with your Roths and stuff like that. There's many different things that can really change your life just by looking at the fine print.
Very good.